Our gospel lesson for the morning is taken from the Gospel of John, chapter 14, beginning at the first verse. Familiar words, perhaps. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me. In my Father's house there are many dwelling places. If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and will take you to myself, so that where I am, there you may be also. And you know the way to the place where I am going. Thomas said to him, Lord, we do not know where you are going. How can we know the way? Jesus said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you know me, you will know my Father also. From now on, you do know him and have seen him. Philip said to him, Lord, show us the Father, and we will be satisfied. Jesus said to him, have I been with you all this time, Philip, and you still do not know me? Whoever has seen me has seen the Father. How can you say, show us the Father? Do you not believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me? The words that I say to you I do not speak on my own, but the Father who dwells in me does his works. Believe me that I am in the Father and the Father is in me. But if you do not, then believe me because of the works themselves. Very truly, I tell you, the one who believes in me will also do the works that I do, and in fact will do greater works than these, because I am going to the Father. I will do whatever you ask in my name, so that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you ask in my name, you ask me for anything, I will do it. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, O Christ.
These verses from the 14th chapter of John are familiar to many of us, especially the first few. We like the comforting words, do not let your hearts be troubled. We like the assurance that Jesus goes ahead of us and prepares a place for our future. Sometimes we smile at Thomas and this first story of doubt and confusion. And when we attend a funeral and these words are read, we are glad for the certainty that they offer. Now, maybe you have in your mind an image of what this wondrous house looks like. Now, my house has, for starters, a huge wraparound porch with rocking chairs and iced tea and lots of time to read. Now, I'm well aware that the text says nothing about a porch. But we're told the house is big and has many rooms with spaces for folks to be, some space specifically set aside for each one of us. If it were not so, Jesus said, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? But in a book I've been reading about our life of discipleship with Christ, the porch on Jesus' house is essential. The author suggests that many of us find ourselves standing on the front porch of Jesus' house. But we remain on the porch. We never go in and truly live with Jesus. We may have talked about Jesus' love for us. We may have even told other people about Jesus' love. But this author suggests if we do not actually go into the house, we do not fully live with Jesus. Does this idea skew the text, since clearly there's no porch? Well, I'm not sure it does. Because maybe Jesus' house is not just in our future in heaven. Maybe Jesus' house is also now, and that we are invited to come into Jesus' house here and now. But as wonderful as that front porch may be, it's not the whole house. Do we dare to go in? Well, why wouldn't we go in? Well, maybe we're just lazy and we get settled in one of those rocking chairs and a book and we just rock away. Or maybe we don't really care about the possibilities of a closer relationship with Jesus. And so we just settle for the front porch. But I suspect that the bottom line reason that we might not go in off the porch into the house is that actually it might be a bit scary. After all, we don't really know what our room will be like. We don't really know what our responsibilities will be or how our life will turn out living in Jesus' house. Now, I suspect that most of us, when challenged to bring non-perishables to help Robin on the roof meet her goal of 85,000 pounds of food, I'm going to buy heavy things like jars of spaghetti sauce. Well, it seemed, Jell-O, that didn't weigh anything. But it's easy, you see, to go and buy that stuff and bring it. We want to feed hungry people during the summer, particularly children. We know our food's going to Arlington Charities. That's not too hard. But if someone in that group who goes regularly to the Tarrant Area Food Bank 2 times a month asks us to join them, we might not be so eager because that's harder. Would we have to deal with a client? I wouldn't know what to say. Would we get hot and dirty? I've seen those people when they come back. 2 days in the same week, often, every month, that's kind of a big commitment. Maybe we'll just stay at home. Would we join a prayer group or a Bible study? What would we learn? Would it be evident that we don't know as much about the Bible as we would really like to? And what would happen if I got really close to God? Or that God got really close to me? And maybe we do or we don't really want to live in Jesus' house. Maybe we're content with the past and the porch. Or would we want to go forward into the house and into the future? And so here we are, still in the season of Eastertide, a time for thinking about our discipleship, how we follow Jesus. Are we off the porch and into Jesus' house or not? One of the lessons that Roland read, the one from 1 Peter to early Christians, takes that house metaphor and it flips it. We are described as living stones, and that God will build us into a house. And if this is true, which it surely is, then we're the house, and we may want Jesus to be in us, in our house with us, but maybe we leave Jesus on the front porch, thus turning the metaphor around. We're in, but Jesus is out. But we're still disconnected and not as close a relationship as perhaps it could be. Well, I think the answers are the same. We may get settled. We're too lazy to answer the door, let Jesus in. Maybe we don't even really care to be in relationship with Jesus all that much, so we don't bother. I think the bottom line reason may be the same. It's too big a risk. We may have heard someone talking about their relationship with God and how it changed their life. Well, maybe we don't want our life to be changed. I mean, we might be pretty satisfied with the way things are, so why would we want to let Jesus get in and rearrange our furniture? It's a risk. If Jesus is in the house and we're on the porch, it's risky to go in and discover what is there. If we are the house, it might be risky to invite Jesus to come in because things might be different. I mean, human relationships change us. What might happen in a more committed relationship with God, whom we know through Jesus Christ? What change then might come? A prayer group starts and I decide to join, and so what will happen when, with other people, I pray regularly? It's just it. We don't know. As we talk to God, we might discover God talking to us. It's a risk. Suppose we think about new mission work, which some folks are. Well, do we want to partner with an agency here in town in existing work? Do we want to try to find something new right around here in our neighborhood? Maybe we want to give money through an established international agency. Maybe we want to get partnered with an international project that maybe we could even go somewhere and work with folks in another place. Each one of these is a possibility. Are we guaranteed success? Might fail. Might be difficult, might be challenging. Maybe it would be successful and there would be great joy. You know, the Bible is full of stories of failure. Even Jesus wasn't successful everywhere. It doesn't take very long before Mark tells us how Jesus failed in Nazareth, and that's where he grew up. Healed a few people, couldn't do anything else. So left, went other places. The Apostle Paul was not always successful. Several places in Asia were closed to him. He was thrown in jail in Thyatira. He was arrested in Caesarea, and at the end of his life was living under house arrest in Rome, maybe even to the end of his life. We could read the whole of church history and see story after story of folks who failed at telling the good news. Some days it's easy to get discouraged and not risk anything. But the author of the book I've been reading offers these observations. Many of us find ourselves still standing on the front porch of the life that is possible in Christ because we've never fully entered in. Or, to change the metaphor, many of us have left God standing on our front porch of our lives without fully receiving him. We've left undiscovered the immeasurable riches of God's grace, abundant life, and that peace that passes understanding. The spiritual journey requires deliberate, continuing cooperation with God. For God's love changes everything. The opening of ourselves to God's grace stimulates a passionate desire to love God in return. For you see, it is that God's love is always first. God always loves us first. God always begins the relationship that we understand is rooted in covenant love. God will always be our God. But we do have to decide how we will respond. Some, probably no one in this room, will just shut God out completely, ignore any possibility of relationship. Some will hang around the fringes, maybe come into a church for worship every now and then, but never really getting involved with the life of the church and growing closer to God, hesitant to risk anything new. Or maybe we decide we do want to live in Jesus' house, or invite Jesus into ours, whichever metaphor you like. Who knows what will happen? Joys, sorrows, what might be called a success, the possibility of disappointment or failure. But not just knowledge about God, but a relationship with God takes time and effort. You probably already knew that. But today, it's not a day that is too late to begin. Shall we live in Jesus' house?